Alright, guys. We have Mike and Nick and Alice. Came out, honestly, I think last week. Rated R. It's an hour and 47 minutes. This film was absolutely astounding. Just because, the soundtrack alone was to die for. The way the film starts off, we get introduced to the scientist who's blaring Billy Joel. And then right off the bat, we're kicked into high gear with this film. We get introduced to Sosa, who's the head of this gang. And then, as you can tell, the whole film is centered around these three right here. So, right here, we have Alice, obviously. Next to her is Quick Draw Mike. And then we have Nick and Nick, obviously. Now, the whole premise of this film is Nick is from the future, and he's trying to stop Mike from being killed. Mike is Sosa's son, Jimmy Boy, just came out of prison, and Sosa believes that it was Mike who set him up for it. The film is, honestly, it's very entertaining. Like I said, soundtrack kicks ass. Story just continues on. There's nothing that just, stands out. There's a couple of funny parts where they're fighting about the Gilmore Girls. Yes, I said the Gilmore Girls. But you have Dolph Lundgren in this film. It's a very action-packed film. It's one of those films, kind of like Saving Silverman. It was a film, this type of film was standard in the 2000s, where it wasn't something that was going to blow your socks off, but it was a good watch. It was a good time. And I feel like that's something that Hollywood has kind of pushed off towards, because they want the big film. Well, this film is going to have plenty of success on its own. Now, IMDb gave it a 6.3 out of 10. I gave it a 5 out of 5. Like I said, film was great. The action was great. The characters were believable. And I can't reiterate more that the soundtrack was badass. So if you haven't seen it before and you are interested in watching it, it's on Hulu. So give it a watch and let me know what you think.